everyone, as we all know, the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is coming out in less than 2 weeks. And I know many of you Tarnish have started a new save, and new Tarnish may have joined for the DLC. So, to aid you guys in your journey, here is 5 pieces of advice that will help you to prepare for the DLC. And now, before the video starts, I would just like to tell you guys, there won't be any obvious advice like get all the Bell Bearing, max out your flask, or get all the larval tier to respect your stats for the DLC. So with that being said, let's get into it. The first advice I will give you guys is actually to wrong warp to Farum Azula at the start of the game. And if you don't know how to wrong warp or where to wrong warp, you guys can search up a tutorial on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find, though it might not be as easy to do. As a reference, it took me around 3 tries to succeed. But doing this gives you a few advantages. First, you don't have to sacrifice Melina when you get to the Fort of the Giant to gain access to Farum Azula. So if the DLC have any new lore or interaction with Melina, you won't miss out. Second, wrong warping to Farum Azula allow you to get Ancient Dragon Prayer Book, which allow you to make an Ancient Dragon Lightning Strike one-shot build very early into the game. And that build is very broken. And if you want to see how broken it is, you can go check out Dr. Titus's video on the subject. Another advantage is that it grants you access to Sombringing Smithing Stone Bell Bearing 4, which sells you Sombringing 7 and 8 Smithing Stone. And this saves you the trouble of beating Godskin Noble at Volcano Manor for the Sombringing Smithing Stone 7, and also save you 2 Stone Sword Keyed, which you need to unlock the door to Sombringing Smithing Stone 7. Another tip that is more of a personal one is that I suggest that you don't kill Malekith before you finish the DLC, because killing Malekith is going past the point of no return, which could potentially lock you out of some questline. So personally, I won't kill Malekith until I have finished the DLC, just to be safe. But if you want to kill him, then you can kill him. This is just a personal advice, don't take it too seriously. The second advice is to farm the dragon at Fort Ferrith. Those ruins you get from farming the dragon can really help you to get started in the early game. If you don't know how to farm the dragon, you can search up a tutorial on how to do that. Don't worry, it's much easier than the wrong warping one. Also, I suggest you get the Golden Pickle Foulfoot at the start of the game and from Patches' store so you can get more ruin. Plus, at Fort Ferrith, you can get a very good early/mid-game talisman that is called the Radagon Sword Seal. It gives you 5 additional points in Vigor, Endurance, Strength, and Dex. This is really good in early to mid-game because that is 20 free levels without you doing anything other than taking 15% more extra damage. And you can stop using it in late game once your Vigor passes the soft cap. At that point, the 5 additional Vigor is not that helpful comparing to the 15% more damage that you're taking. The third advice is don't kill Vare, aka the guy who calls you maidenless. I know, you probably get very murderous the second you hear the word maidenless. But doing his questline grants you early access to Mogwin's Palace without going to the consecrated snowfield, which is the only other way if you want to go to Mogwin's Palace. And in Mogwin's Palace, you gain access to the best ruin farm in-game for both early and late game. And also, Mogwin Palace is necessary for the DLC, because you need to kill Mog and Radon, if you haven't at this point, to gain access to the DLC. And once you gain access to the Mogwin Palace, you can go into the Blood Pool where you will get invaded by 3 invaders. And one of them drop a White Mask, which is a crucial part to a bleed build. And following the last advice, the fourth advice is at least get your level to somewhere around level 150 using the Mogwin Palace Ruin Farm. Because from all we know, the people that have played the DLC have said their default level when they started the DLC is 150. And according to some of those that have played the DLC, they still got two-shotted by the giant fire pot walking thing. So, in order to play the DLC smoothly, let's get our level to somewhere around 150. And I will tell you guys how to do it. In early game, you can farm the big bird by using a bow and arrow to aggro it and make the bird jump off the cliff, and it will drop 11,000 ruin every time you do it. And after you have reached Altus Plateau and have defeated Lanciax, you will get Lanciax Glaive, which allow you to farm the Albinorix because it's a great replacement for the Sacred Relic Sword, since we're not killing Malekith. Therefore, we can't kill the Elden Beast. Therefore, we can gain access to Sacred Relic Sword. And you can further boost your efficiency of farming by getting the Golden Scarab Talisman in Caelid, once your health bar is long enough to withstand the power of Space Aid, aka Scarlet Rot. The final advice from me is to do Ranni's questline. Number 0, why to do her questline? Because you get married. And after you get married, you are not maidenless anymore. Reason number 1 now. Because by doing her questline, it grants you access to a lot of items. So first, after you defeat Radon, you gain access to Nokron, which grants you access to Mimic Tear, and Ghost Glowor Bellbearing 1, which grants you access to Ghost Glowor 1, 2, and 3. And after you progress Ranni's questline to Angel River, you gain access to 6 and 7 at the part where there's a Astel hanging on the roof and is shooting rocks at you. And once you progress from that part into Noxtella, you will gain access to Ghost Glowor Bellbearing 2, which give you access to Ghost Glowor 4, 5, and 6. And on your way to Lake of Rot, you can find a lot of Ghost Glowor 8 and 9. And in Nokron, you also find a Great Ghost Glowor that allow you to get one of your summon to plus 10. And I'm not sure if you gain another Great Ghost Glowor somewhere in her questline that allow you to get another summon up to plus 10. And by another summon, I mean Black Knife Tish summon, which is another very good summon. And also, at the end of her questline, you get the Dark Moon Greatsword from Ranni, which is a very good weapon for an intelligence build. And guys, that's all the tips to help you guys to prepare for the upcoming DLC. And I will see you in the next video where I'll be showing you guys some build you could use for the DLC. Bye!